What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, the Knick fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we get into it, I want you to do me one small favor. I want you to hit that like button. I definitely want you to subscribe, leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop. Hit the notification bell. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it real quick. The New York Knicks. What do you think? Wait, how want to say? How do you think we're going to finish this season out? Where will we land? I know we got the Wizards coming up, and I'm gonna get into that. But I want to make because I this is interesting. I want to make a point because I'm still hearing chatter about the New York Knicks should have made this move or made that move, and it seems like Knicks fans or people that cover the New York Knicks is never satisfied with this team. No matter how well we do, we always have to do better. And if you look around, other than Boston, Cleveland, and uh, um Milwaukee, what other team in the East that you really think that will really beat the New York Knicks down to the ground, especially the way we're playing, especially with the addition of Hart. Um, a lot of things, I posted have made a video about RJ Barrett. Is he our weakest link? And I don't know, but I tell you one thing: the New York Knicks are right now in a perfect position to make a run at the fifth and the fourth spot, if you ask me. Because in my opinion, the top three teams are the teams I just mentioned. Oh, I forgot to mention Philadelphia. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't want to be looking like a fool. So, but still, if you compare the New York Knicks to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I I think the Knicks are a better team. And I know a lot of people want to talk about Donovan Mitchell and this and that. We actually beat them. We played them how many times? 3 times this year. I think we beat them twice. So I actually think the New York Knicks will go further in the playoffs than the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the Cavs are just flash. I don't really have any faith in Donovan Mitchell. I think he was on a good team in Utah, and he never really got them over that hump. I think he crumbles when it comes to playoffs. We'll see because it's getting close. But let's get to the Wizards real quick. The Wizards coming to this game. Excuse me for a second. On offense, they rank number 15. They score 114 points a game. They're giving up 114 points a game. They got a net rating of 0.3, which is 17th in the league, and they average 25 assists a game. But what I want to talk about, I'm gonna get to the key victories. What the New York Knicks will have to do to win this game. Uh, First, let's just get. I'm just gonna put some stats up. And I'm gonna get to my man Josh Hart. I know y'all seen it, so I'm gonna get through this part real quick because I really want to talk about Josh Hart the most. I really think the Knicks gonna come out and we should beat the Wizards. We actually, I think, the last time we played the Wizards, they beat us. They came back. It was a victory that we shouldn't have. It was a game that we shouldn't have lost. But I don't know. This game, I think the Knicks gonna come back. They're both coming off winning games, winning streaks. The Wizards won their last 2 games. The Knicks won their last 3 games. But the Knicks are what 6, and the Wizards are number 10th in right now in the league. And this is just my opinion. The Wizards, only player on that team that I really respect, and I know a lot of people are talking about what about Bradley Bill. I like Bradley Bill's game, but Kyle Kuzma, the only one I only player on that team that I really respect as a threat to the New York Knicks. And the reason I don't really mention Brandon Bill because I don't expect him to play. You know what I'm saying? If he's on the court, yeah, he might be a threat. Not I don't know. We got Josh Hart out there, so I think Josh Hart would do well, and holding him down. You know what I'm saying? But let's before I get to the keys of victory, let's just talk about my man Julius Randle and excuse me, you see it right there, Jalen Brunson. That's the top performers of the game. The New York Knicks, what Randle is coming into this game shooting 33% from downtown. He's making at least 2 3-pointers per game while averaging 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. Jalen Brunson is shooting 51%, and he's averaging 28 points over the past 10 games. And this is what I want to talk about. I know y'all seen I had the New York Knicks and then versus what's called the first little thing. What's it called? They have Porzingis averaging around 22, 23 points a game, but in the last 5 or 6 games, he's been averaging 19 points. And I'm backtrack to why I was talking about players I don't respect. Porzingis is one of the players I don't respect. I don't think for his size, I don't like the way Porzingis played, and that's that's even when he was on the New York Knicks. I thought and I know the game has changed. Big men don't really pound the paint like Shaq used to do. But Porzingis is a guy who should be at least putting that into his goddamn his in his repertoire, getting in the paint because he's 7'3". You know what I'm saying? He should get the ball and just turn around and dunk it. You know what I'm saying? He's he's a weak player, and I don't mean it as a disrespect, but he's not a real aggressive player. He's not a dominant. He don't know how to dominate. He's a finesse type player. That's the best way to describe Kristaps Porzingis. He's an affable player. I'm not saying players like him. I'm just saying his mannerism is affable. Like I said, Randall shooting 33%. In the last 10 games, the Wizards went 6-4. Like I said, they're averaging 118 points in them last 10 games. Uh, 43 rebounds, 29 assists, 7 steals, and 5.7 blocks a game. I'm gonna get to what the Knicks are averaging. But I really want to jump into our keys to victory. But let me get to what the Knicks is doing in their last 10 games. They're 6-4 as well, averaging 116 points, 45 rebounds per game, 21 assists, 4.8 steals, and 2.9 blocks. And let me back up for a second before I go. Mitchell Robinson is a game time decision. So maybe that would help us in the blocking department. While the team is shooting 48% from the field, their opponents have averaged 113. Their opponents have averaged 113 points against them. They're giving up 113 points to be correct. All right, so in my opinion, I think this is a game that the New York Knicks is going to walk away with. Um, Wizards, I don't know. I can't say rebuilding. I can't say tanking. I don't know where they at as a team. I don't think they know where they at as a team, but I don't think they are too much of a threat to the New York Knicks. I think we should come right back. I don't know. Let me just backtrack also. This will be the start of the second half, so they want to say. And as I pointed out in my last video, this is a whole third of the season went by. But they had a little mini break. A lot of players will come back refreshed. So who knows how energized players will be. But from a statistic standpoint, the way the New York Knicks was playing before the break, I think the New York Knicks had come out and take this game easily. I think we're on a high. I think the team's on a real good high. All right, so let's just get on to my keys of victory before we jump to Josh Hart. I really want to talk about that, and I hope y'all stick around for that. All right, number one, you got to control the boards. The New York Knicks are averaging 47 rebounds per game, whereas the Washington Wizards are averaging 44. If Mitch Roberts should come back, that should be a plus for us on the boards. But we got to control the boards because boards lead to fast breaks and it leads to offense, which I like to see my man Josh Hart in transition. All right, number three, move the ball. The New York Knicks are 29th in the league in assists. We're averaging 22 assists per game, and we got to move the ball. And the last 3 games, the ball wasn't being moved, but we still had moments where it got real stagnant. But we got to keep moving the ball. That's number two. We got to keep moving the ball. And number three, but the most important thing, especially in this game tonight, is take I want to say take care of the ball, but I'm gonna say take smart shots. And what I mean by that, the Washington Wizards are fourth in blocking shots in the league. So we know they get up after shots. So when you go to take a shot, RJ Barrett in particular, when you go to the rim, you got to put a little more movement or make sure you open to where these guys is not contesting your shots. Like I said, they're fourth in the league in blocking shots. And it's not just one player, it's a group of players, more than one guy that's getting their share of these blocks. So we have to take smart shots. All right, let's get on to what everybody want to hear. Well, if y'all want to hear my opinion, why Josh Hart will stay with the New York Knicks. Well, resign. All right, come on, get my notes real quick. First of all, he had an interview the other day where he expressed interest in signing a long-term deal with the New York Knicks. He actually said it was a perfect fit. He was satisfied, and I can understand. And I'm gonna let you know in a minute. The kid bounced around the league since being drafted in 2017. He's been on 4 teams in his career, and he's looking for a home, and rightfully so. And I'm not gonna say like me. I One of the biggest reasons I got my three. I'm got to get to them right now, and we're gonna talk about his contract as well. But number one, and I know a lot of people want him to start. I don't want the guy to start. I think he come off his bench, and we might get surprised tonight. Who knows what Tibbs is going to do with the starting lineup? It's a fresh start coming off the break. Um, he has a chance to be the sixth man. If if not the sixth man, then he can be the third option. That's if they decide to start him over R.J. Barrett. But he do have a chance to become the sixth man in this league if he stay with the New York Knicks and continue to flourish the way he has in the last 3 games. And I know it's only been 3 games, so let's not get overconfident. We know how some of the New York Knicks signings have went in the past. But I like Josh Hart. He got heart, first of all. He plays well in the transition, and he plays defense, and he's a competitor. And he's playing with somebody he went to school with that he feels that gives him a better chance of winning because they're more comfortable playing with each other. That's number one. Number two, he will become a star in New York. Look at the attention he's getting right now, and it's only been 3 games. Now imagine we go to the playoffs and this guy have breakout games or defensive stops that get us the win. This kid would be a star in New York. He's already a star. He's growing quick. And that's the thing about New York Knicks. We quick to anoint guys stars or good players before we let things play out. But if this guy play the way he's been playing in the last 3 games and continue that play until next year, into the year after, which let me before I get to the third reason he's going to stay, where I talk about his contract. And I know it's a 12 point something $1 million option that he might decline. And I'm thinking like this: the New York Knicks can keep this guy, and they can make a sweet offer. They can make an offer of 3 years, maybe 68 million to 72 million dollars. Being that they gave Evan Fournier 4 years and $74 million, they can shorten the rotation. He is 30 years old. Um, Giving them 3 years, 68 to 70 million dollars, and it's going to be more than that 12 million per year. It's roughly around 15, 17 million dollars, and I think he would hop right on that, especially knowing. And this is my last reason, and this will be one of the biggest factors that's going to play into why Josh Hart will stay with the New York Knicks, or whoever will say resign. It would be the endorsements. Okay, Josh Hart. If you're a basketball fan, you know who Josh Hart is, but he's not really a household name. If he come to New York and could continue to play the way he's playing, he will become a household name, and he will start getting them commercials. He will start getting them endorsements, and I guarantee his agent is putting that in his ear right now. So not only will he come and be able to establish himself as one of the Knicks greats, especially if we get in the playoffs and go far, and we're gonna have to attribute to that this guy came in and helped us with that push. If anything was to happen where we won a championship or even the Eastern Conference final title, and he had a big major contribution in it, he will be a legend in New York. Trust me, that's how New York roll. But back to my biggest factor in the deal, the endorsements. Even with the 3 years, 68 million, 72 million. I know his agents or his people, or even the New York Knicks are talking about, listen, you're gonna make so much side money that you would make in any other state because we're such a big market, and the way the New York fans would gravitate to you, you're going to make money. So them are my 3 reasons. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. He number one, he has a chance of being the sixth man or the third option on his team. Number two, he will be a star and a household name if he remain with the New York Knicks. And number three, the endorsements. The endorsements. Well, y'all tell me what y'all think. And with that being said, y'all all know my saying. I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace.